Alright, I'm doing an impromptu video. This is a cherry tree, and I'm just going to talk about how to salvage a tree. So, my dad brought his lawnmower pulling a trailer and ran this over. First he had scraped the bark. I'll show you. First he had scraped the bark right here, and then when he was trying to pull it out, he ripped off this one which went to the side this way, and this one was the center one that went up, and he ripped them both off. So you have two problems here. You have this exposed bark being broken off and this being broken off. Then you also have this bark being shaved. So there's two issues, and then you have this. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this cherry tree, and it's one kind of cherry tree because it was a grafted tree. There was 3 different ones. So it's one kind that won't pollinate itself, but I have another cherry tree that I bought that'll be nearby, and it'll pollinate this one. And cherry trees sometimes have a mind of their own, so it'll probably work. Actually, it will work. So what you want to do is on the bark right here, as long as it's not shaved all the way around, like if you had like this much bark missing and it went all the way around the tree, then you would have a problem, because the bark is basically the freeway, if you will, for all the nutrients for the tree. So if you completely cut that off, the nutrients coming from the ground coming up the bark can't jump to the upper part of the tree. So since this bark is connected, there's just a long streak here, but the bark goes all the way around and it's connected, this will heal. The bark will slowly just heal over. So this isn't so much of a problem. If it's debarked and it's a ring around, then you're probably not going to save that tree. But if it's just a stripe and there's bark connected everywhere else, this will heal up. So then the next problem is these two. So what you want is this can be open for problems. And so what you want to do is you want to cut this back all the way into where there's no more problems. So like it's split right here. You want to cut this back to where it doesn't do that anymore. It's almost like you're pruning the tree when you cut a straight cut. Normally you wouldn't necessarily be pruning now, but it'll work. So we're going to take this little knob that's pretty much all the way down, but we're going to even it up, and then we're going to chop this off. And what I'm going to do is, there's a bud right here with a leaf on it. So this should grow. So I'm going to cut above it, and then this should grow from here. So there's a chance that another branch will grow. So now we have a smooth cut, and there's no split area, and then you have a bud here that is going to grow. It'll probably go up, and then I'm going to try to get in here. This was probably all right to leave, but I'm just going to make it smooth. There we go. So that's pretty much how you fix a tree that's been run over by a tractor. So to sum up, if you have a tree that the bark has been scraped, as long as there's bark connecting the top and the bottom portions, it will heal itself and grow over. And then when you have broken areas that are split, you want to prune back to where there's no more split, to where it's flat. And if you happen to be lucky and have a little bud right here that you can work around to cut here and then have it grow here, that's all the better. So that's how you fix a cherry tree. And one more thing, as a side note, for watering, let's see if I can pull this out. When I plant on the fruit trees, I plant a pipe. I take like a PVC pipe and I drill holes in it all the way down, and then I put that in. When I'm planting the tree, I bury this pipe down as well, and it's got holes in it, because one of the problems with fruit trees is people will put a sprinkler down and it'll mist water, and it'll get the surface really wet and sometimes even soaked, and it has the appearance of being watered, but really all you're doing is watering shallow. And what happens is your roots grow very shallow, and then you can have the trees tip over in storms and stuff like that. So when you put this pipe in, it's going to go all the way down below the root when you plant this. And then I stick a hose, or often I'll pull, I get duck water out of the pond, and I'll pour duck water down that hole, and it takes the water all the way down, and as it goes down it pours out the holes and it waters the roots. And what happens with all plants, garden plants and trees, is the roots will always chase the water. So if you can get the water to go deep, the roots will chase it down deep, and you'll have a solid tree and solid vegetables as well. So that's it.